Hi everybody, afternoon. It's nearly 3 o'clock. Oh, that was my phone on the floor. Never mind. And that was my glue gun. Anything else wants to drop? Oh my days, I'm just having one of those days where I can't remember anything. I couldn't even remember my own name this morning, so that's a good start. Anyway, why I'm filming. It is 3 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, and I have just finished my lovely gift. No, it was not. It's a gift and a challenge. The challenge was over on somebody else's channel, and that channel was Shaz Craft 023. Now, this lady, her name's Sharon. She had a challenge whereby we, if you wanted to participate, you sent each other, well, it could be a box full of goodies to use in the challenge. Now, there was 3 parts to this challenge. The first part was to make something for that other person, specifically for them. So it couldn't be like, I don't know, say I made something last week, it had to be for that person. That's what I'm trying to say. So make something for the other person. When they sent you the box of goodies, in there was something to alter. So in my box of goodies, I had a tray, and I had like a scalloped book. See if I can find the scalloped book. I can find it. I know I can find it. I have started it. There it is. I knew I hadn't gone very far. This was the scalloped book. Now, you've probably seen the tray that I got sent. The tray actually holds all my laces at the minute, because I'm actually in the middle of making flowers. So there's the tray. It's got all sides to it and 2 handles each side. It's not a big tray. It's not a big tray at all. It's about, roughly, I would say, let me just try and see if I can measure this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 inches by 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 11 inches by 9. So that it was either or. So I could either alter this tray, or I could alter this mini scalloped mini book. Now I have started to do it, and basically all what it is, you have 6 pieces. It's like MDF wood, I think. Let me see what type of wood it is. Laser cut board. No, it doesn't tell me what wood. I think it's like an MDF kind of wood. Like chipboard, that's what it is, not MDF, chipboard. And you have 6 pieces. Here's my 6, and you decorate it. Now, if you notice, this one's got no holes in, so you make the holes as you go along. And in this little kit, there's no binding, so you can, it's your choice how you want to bind it together. Now, I have started doing it, and I have put a hole in the corner. And my idea is to have a ring in the corner, and then the book, when I'm finished with it, would flick just like that. But we'll see how we get on. So it was either to alter, let me just put this back in the packet. It was either to alter this scallop book, or it was to alter the tray. And you film how you would alter either or. So if I am going to alter the tray. I love my tray, Sharon. I absolutely love my tray. It's been the most useful thing I am owning at the minute, because it's not like a dinner tray, and it's got the handles all the way around. Nothing's falling off, which is a godsend. So, yeah. So I'm going to film how I'm going to do my tray. That'll be in an upcoming video. I think I will do that. But the gift that I the other part of the challenge was to make something for that other person. So I sat there for a good couple of days and I'm thinking, oh, what can I make Sharon? You know, she likes vintage. She likes, I'm lucky to not enough to own some of her pieces. So she likes quite varied type of thing, and she does, if you go over to her YouTube channel, she does quite a varied selection of crafts. But one of the things I picked up on was she likes vintage and she likes lace. She likes her pearls and all that kind of thing. So I've been seeing these loaded envelopes on YouTube. I've never actually made a loaded envelope, but I like the idea of it being loaded full of all little handmade gems that you would possibly make. So I thought, oh, what could I do? What could I do? And then I went into the charity shop. I love my charity shops. And I came across a pair of shoes. And it was, to me, I could see an old Victorian shoe. But the shoe was actually covered in 3 different types of leather. And it wasn't the type where you could sort of peel off. It was PVC leather type thing. So I brought them home and I painted one. And I've sent the other one to Shannon, and that's Morrissey Arts and Crafts Design Studio. So she's got the other one to alter. So hopefully we will see that in an upcoming video. Shannon, that isn't a hint, I promise you. So yeah, my shoe, I am going to actually show you now what I've done to it. So I made my own gesso. And I'm going to lower you down so you can see the side a lot more. I completely covered the entire thing in white gesso. So I know it's a little bit there. I might have to go over that a little bit, but it actually covered quite well. And I am quite chuffed considering it had 3 sort of different lots of leather. Then with my wedding appliques, I went over a lace. I used 2 different types of lace. There's a doily right underneath. I don't know whether you're gonna, there's the white lace there, look, just on the heel, and it does poke out on the sides. Then I used a doily for the sides to build the layers up, and then I used like a cream sort of netting lace, and then I used my wedding appliques and went around. Now I've only used 3. I've used 2 wedding appliques, but I cut one in half. So you've got one on this side, and then the other half is to you. Now it does poke up at the top, which I quite like the idea of. And then on the back, I've actually, on the heel, I'm going to raise you up slightly. On the heel, I've actually used one, but I've left this a little bit loose because when the shoe actually sits and you've got the shoe sitting on something, that really stands out really nice. So you can sort of see all the detail inside it. Now I've just tipped. I told you I'm not having a good day today. Everything's tipping. So that's what I did to the sides, and that's what I did to everything's just tipped out. Never mind. Yeah, so that's what I did to the sides and the back. Then I went round the I made some I like to call yellow lemon. It's what my nan used to say. If I had a yellow top, she used to call it lemon. So I made some lemon colouring with out of these little dressing pots, and I made my colouring here, and it was 3/4 water, 2 blobs of a scoop PVA, and then I used some something mustard. It's called Shimmer Mist, and I coloured that all together, and I was left, and there was only a little bit in the pot. I don't know whether you're able to see that. And then I coloured it using the edging. Now, I literally just dabbed it because I didn't want too much of a yellow. I just wanted enough to give it that look. And the look I was going for was Mary Antoinette. So yeah, that's what I've done. And the the little trim at the sides, what I've actually done, because on this side it was alright, but following the wedding applique around here, I've had to cut the trims so it follows it all the way around. So I've just followed the wedding applique all the way, and I've done the same on each side as well. Then I told you everything's falling out. Put that back in there. And then on the heel, on the heel, no, I've showed you the heel. On the toe, I'll try again. On the toe, I used a different lace altogether. I had sort of a scalloped edging lace. Now I followed the toe. I didn't want to actually cover the toe for the purpose. I wanted you to sort of see I quite like the shape of the toe. I don't know why, I just did. So I followed the lace, the scalloped edging lace, all the way at the front. And then I followed it with some pearl trim. Now this pearl trim isn't flat pearl trim. It is actually on a string. This was loose pearls. I should have really sewed it in. But at the time I'd stuck everything down. And I'm thinking I can't sew it in now. I've stuck it all down. But I find when I do projects like this, I sort of pick up on my own mistakes. So the next one I make, I'll probably sew it in. Does that make sense? I don't know whether you guys do that, but I do it all the time. I pick up on my own mistakes. And even though it's not a mistake, I think next time, because I found that when I had stuck all the beads on, that some of them were coming loose. And the reason they were coming loose is because they're not sewed on, they're glued on. So yeah, maybe next time I will sew them in. So the toe of the shape of the shoe. Now, the shape of the shoe actually comes sort of like that, and then it stops there. So even though the toe's here, the shape of the shoe is here. So I wanted that to be covered. I didn't want it to be fall like that. So what I did, use the scalloped edging. Then underneath here is half a doily brown one. I made my own flower. So I made sort of a flower like this, and then I folded it in half, edged the bottom with my yellow paint that I'd made up. And I didn't actually use a stiff brush either. I used what these are called Extensor Brushes, because you would use them for your texture if you were using stencils. They're called dabbing brushes, but that's the type of thing that you would use them for. And I dabbed my brush in the paint and literally just went like that, swept on the edge. And that gave me like, because originally this lace was white, and that gave me like a real pale yellow on the front of the shoe. So that was that. Then on the top, I wanted something to pop out. And when I originally stuck this on, it wasn't popping as much as I'd like it to do. So what I did, I took the whole thing off, just this bit by here, now I'm talking about. I stuck this on a piece of card and went round it on a bit of pearl string. And then that gave me my shoe, my toe of my shoe. I've also, I know everything's falling out, and it shouldn't be like this, but yeah, everything's falling out. I've also gone around the edging in the inside of the shoe with some pearl trim. So when everything's brought out, you can still see the shape of the shoe. See? Right. Now, as for the inside, like I say, I like the idea of a loaded envelope. But since I've never made a loaded envelope, I could have made one, and I thought, do I really want to make one? Or shall I go for a loaded shoe? So that's what I did. Now I'm going to take you through sort of what I've made. Some of it's plain, so Sharon can play about with it herself. So I've made this flower. It does come out, Sharon. It's right at the front. And it's made out of all scraps. So you can add to it, or you can stick down as it is. Now I did stick this right on top. That's the only thing that's stuck down with my hot glue gun. But yeah, this is handmade. This is hand sewn. So I've put one of them in because I'm quite liking making these at the moment. So I've put that in. The next thing at the front of the shoe are these. Now, these actually came, the design of these came from Etsy. You can download them like a PDF. If you type in, what I typed in was Mary Antoinette PDF printables. And they like little, you would put your little tea bag in there. That's what they're for. Because it actually says on the back, flower tea. And I printed them out. I stuck them onto some card, and then with pattern paper, old vintage type paper, I stuck that to it so that when you open it up, you've got like a different paper altogether. And all it is in the inside is like pens. What do you call them? Fountain pens. So that's what I've done on the inside. So I'm going to show you now what I've put on each compartment. So this one's actually got some butterflies that I've actually stamped out and made myself. They're all in different paper, pattern paper, Sharon, so you can have a real good play with them. They're all different sizes. So that's what's in there, and there's some more obviously in there. But do you see what I mean about like different pattern paper to the outside? This one's actually got, and I've actually made the corners textured. By that I mean they are actually raised. I didn't want to cover the flowers on the actual paper themselves, and I've inked all the edges with my normal paper ink to give it that shine, but I used green instead of brown and your sort of your blacks and stuff. So that's what I've done there. I'll put these back in so I don't lose them. Right, and then what I've done is I've put a double-sided sticky squares. They come in a pack like these. Usually find them in card making stuff, and that's sort of keeping that shut. Should do anyway. The other one, what I've done is I've put a ton of different flowers in. Oops, and bows and just all different different things. So you've actually got a selection of each one. So that's what's in there. I wanted to make it so that each thing was different from the next. Even though these are they're the same, they're not really the same inside. So there's them. As I'm putting them out, I'm going to just put them into one side. Oh, and you've got a little tiny one as well. Now, I did find when I was putting these in originally that he's got a habit of popping out. So just be careful what you're doing. Then I've got another one, spool. Now, these spools I actually made myself. You can buy them, but they are expensive to buy. So I wanted something that you could use rather than buy as well. So I've put them in, and it's got two different patterns on. So that is the pattern. I've edged it with black ink as well, so to give it that look. But you can do it all sorts. You could incorporate it into designs or whatever you wanted to do. Then in the actual toe, I've put one of these. What do you call it? It's fabric tape, but it's called something. I can't think what it's called. I can see it, you know, I can visualize it, but I can't think what it's called. Something tape. I can't think. Like I say, I can't even remember my own name today, so please forgive me, but that is tucked right in. So I'm going to put that in. And how I've coordinated this shoe off is I've put pieces of card to section this shoe off from each other. So, yeah, that's what I've done. So this little bit is sectioned off to the rest. So, yeah, so that's sectioned off to the rest. Now, that's the sort of the front bit. This is the middle bit. So, like I say, I've made 3 of these, but only 2 I've put pins in. And how I've done that is I've put a piece of felt, some doily, and then some doily, and I edged it with some pearl trim. And they're both different. If I put them like that, you could probably see that one's got a flower on, this one's got 5 pins, and this one's got 3. I've left them plain for you to decorate or use as you really want to. It's totally up to you what you do. The backs are different as well on these. See how they're different? I just wanted something extra special in this shoe. So there's them. Then I've put a love spoon. Now a love spoon is a Welsh thing. It's what years ago they used to give love spoons instead of Teddy. That's my dog. My days. They used to give love spoons instead of rings years and years ago. So I've put I managed to get hold of these. I typed in miniature love spoons into eBay, and I think they came in a pack of 10. And at the time I didn't realise they came in a pack of 10. So guess what Colette did? Ordered 2 packs. So I've got 20. So I've put one of them in for you. Then I've made this envelope, and I've actually embossed the bottom with a mushroom. That's actually done using my blowtorch before I had my heat gun. So yeah, you know, yeah. And this actually opens, and then in here is some beads. I've had these off a little necklace. It was on I don't know whether I showed you guys, it was on a green necklace. So what I've done is I've taken the beads off, and I know how you like purple, and I put some beads in for you. And again, that's just taped up with double-sided square tape. I've also put 2 of these in. Now these are Tilda spools. You can buy them. They are expensive to buy, and it took me forever and a day to get hold of these. I ordered from one place, they were out of stock. I ordered another place, they were out of stock, and it took me forever. But I actually had these off Amazon. I'm going to lower you down a little bit. But I actually had these off Amazon. They are brilliant to incorporate into your creations and into designs, but they are expensive for what they are. I think you pay for the name, not the actual item. So I've put 2 of them in for you. I've put this in for you, Sharon, because I think I've put it in and it says believe, and I know how sometimes you don't believe how good an amazing crafter you actually are. And so I've put this in, and I want you to frame it, and I want you to put it in front of the creations, and every time you create, and I want you to believe in yourself, because you are an amazing crafter, and amazing creations come out of your head. And if you haven't seen the hot air balloon that she made me, wow. I mean, who would think to make a hot air balloon out of a bucket and a wire mesh bucket as well? So believe in yourself, because you are a true crafter. You're an absolutely excellent crafter. So I've stuck that in for you too. I stuck some 3 of these in. Now they're just plain tags. I had these in a pack. They came from the Works. And they came from the Works, and I've stuck 3 in. I've also stuck one of these in. Now this actually I made myself. It is actually one of them. I'm going to knock my dog out now in a minute. I can hear him. Teddy! I'm so sorry. I'm trying. Oh my days. Anyway, he's so loud. I've made you one of these, and it's one of these tags. It is. I've made it into a shape of a bottle. I've actually edged it with black and brown ink, and then I've put some pattern paper on and edged that with green ink as well. So there's some of them in. So as you can sort of see now, our shoe is getting emptier, and as you can probably see as well, the separators, and that's how I've separated the shoe out, is sticking these down. They're actually stuck down, these separators are, but it gives you an idea of where my head was going. Now I made this on a live on Facebook, I think I made this, and it's basically, again, one of these, and to incorporate the lemon on the shoe, I wanted to make a lemon style flower spray. So that's what I've made, and I've used, now this fabric right at the back has actually got silver hearts on, and this fabric, believe it or not, I've got a big massive roll of it, and it is actually fabric from my wedding. So this is 7 years old. Yeah, so I've put some of that on, and I've I don't know, just made a little tiny thing on the back as well. So I've put one of them in. Now this I didn't make myself, but I want to incorporate it into the shoe. I picked up, I think it was 5 in a bunch when I went to town the other day, and a lady was selling these, and I thought, you know what a brilliant idea to put roses, and all it is a rose on a stick. And what a brilliant idea. And she's sewn the fabric and she's made a rose on a stick. Now I've put this in, I haven't made it, I will say I haven't made it, but it's to give you sort of, it gave me inspiration anyway to think, oh wow, you can actually, why haven't I thought of that sort of thing? So I've put that in as an inspiration for you as well, and I've got some in my room. And every time I look at it, I sort of think, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. So I put one of them in. So that is shoe. I'm hoping that you'll really, really like it. I'm hoping also that you will let me know if you like it or not. And yeah, I've been working on this now for the past month, filling it all up. There are a few, like I say, there are a few plain things in here, and the only reason I've got plain things in there is because I wanted for you to, as well as me make things, I want to incorporate what you've been doing, and I just wondered what your tags would look like if they were done, so that's why I put some plain ones in. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I hope you like it, Sharon. I've really enjoyed making this for you, and it's been my honour, such an honour to make something this special just for you. And I am now going to fill this back up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like again when this is filled back up. So, on there. And that is what it looks like filled. That's the side. That's the back. This is the other side. And that's my loaded shoe. So enjoy. This is on its way to you. Thank you all for watching. Take care. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye for now.